This video will discuss creating a block library in AutoCAD. One of the advantages to AutoCAD is that you never have to draw anything twice. If I have a certain symbol that I need to use over and over and over again, there's no need to draw it more than one time. I can simply make a block of that object and reinsert it wherever I need it, whenever I need it. For example, if I was creating a pipe drawing, I could come in here and go to the Insert command and look in other drawings, and I've already got it set up here. So I've got a drawing set up with a block library of all these different symbols that I could use over and over again. If I wanted a 12-inch pipe symbol, for example, I could filter it and I could look at all of my 12-inch pipe symbols. And if I wanted, for example, to insert this 12-inch 90-degree elbow, I could simply click on it here, move out into my drawing area, and now insert it wherever I need it to be in the drawing. And so having this ability to do this is very advantageous. In order to create this block, however, there's a few simple steps that you'll want to take. So in another drawing, let me start a new drawing here. What you can do is you can simply draw your geometry and then place it where you want it to be. I'm going to place my geometry at 0, 0 and use that as my insertion point. So a 12-inch 90-degree elbow has a center line radius of 18 inches. What you do is you take the nominal pipe size, you multiply it by 1.5, and that gives you the center line radius of that elbow. So what I'll do is I will come in here, make sure I'm on layer 0, and I'll just create an arc. The center of my arc will be at 18, 0. The start point of my arc will be at 18, 18, and the end point of my arc will be at 0, 0. So now that line represents the elbow itself. But that's not enough. I also need a weld dot at each end. And to put the weld dot in, you use the donut command. So DO for donut. The inside diameter will be 0. The outside diameter will be 1 3/4. And now I can put a weld dot at that end and at that end. And that's all I need for my 90-degree elbow. The last thing that I want to do is come in and change the line weight of that line right there to 0.53 millimeters so that it's just a little bit thicker when we display it on the screen. Now to create the block itself, you use the block command. So I'll type B for block. It launches the block definition dialog box, and I'll give it a name. So you want to name it what it's supposed to be named as far as the book goes. So this is a 12-inch 90-degree side view of that block. I'm going to leave my insertion point at 0, 0. So when I insert this, it will be inserting it by that point right there. I don't have to change that. And then I'll select my objects. The things that I want to include in this block is everything that I have in the drawing, so I'll make a window around it. And then I'm going to choose, up here I'm going to choose retain. What this does is it makes a block out of the geometry on the screen, but then it leaves that geometry on the screen as just geometry so that I can reuse it for other purposes. When I choose OK, you can see that the geometry is still here. It's not a block, okay? But if I go to my Insert tab and I go to Insert, you'll see now that I have that new block that I could simply come in and I could insert wherever I wanted into my drawing, and it is indeed a block. Now the thing about this is I need more than one of these. I need one for a 10-inch pipe, I need one for an 8-inch pipe, I need one for a 6-inch pipe. The good news is I don't have to redraw everything. All I have to do is change the size. So to change the size, you use the scale command. So on the Home tab, you can come up here and you can use the scale command. It asks you to select the objects. The only object that I really want to scale here is the arc itself. You do not want to scale the weld dots because the weld dots have to stay the same size regardless of the size of the pipe. So I'll scale that pipe, press enter, It asks me for the base point, which I'm going to leave at 0, 0, because I want that to be the base point, the insertion point of my block. And then it asks me for a scale factor. And I want to make it smaller, but I don't know how much smaller. So what I advise you to do is use this reference option down here. It asks you for the reference length, which you can think of as the size it is now. Right now it's a 12-inch pipe L, so I'll type in the 12, and then it asks you to specify the new length. That's going to be a 10-inch elbow, so I'll press enter. And so now it's made this appropriately the smaller size, so that all I have to do now is move this weld dot so that the center of it is now at that point. Now, if you think about it, again, 1.5 times 10 would be the radius of this arc. Just to double check, if I wanted to, I could use the dimension command, and I could put a dimension on here for a moment, and you can see that the radius of that arc is indeed 15, which is 1.5 times 10, so it's correct. So now all I have to do again is use the block command, and now this is a 10-inch 90-degree L, and it's the side view. I can leave again my base point as 0, 0. I can select my object, which again are all of them, choose retain, choose OK, and you'll now notice if I go to the insert, now I've got 2 blocks inside of this drawing. You'll repeat that same process for all the different size blocks that you need and for all of the different configurations. When you're done, you can simply erase any geometry left on the screen, save the drawing, and even though there's no geometry on the screen, you still have all of those blocks in the block library that you can now come to another drawing and insert them into.